In a quiet town surrounded by open fields and narrow roads, there lived a boy named Max. He was about 15 years old and lived with his parents in a small house near the school. Max was not lazy or careless. In fact, he worked hard. But his biggest enemy was not failure, it was his own thinking. From a young age, Max believed that good things happened only to other people. Whenever he tried something new and failed, he felt deeply disappointed. If he scored low marks, he thought, I am not smart. If he lost a race, he thought, I will always lose. If someone laughed at his mistake, he thought, everyone is better than me. Slowly, these thoughts became a habit. At school, Max sat on the last bench. He knew answers but never raised his hand. He avoided competitions and group activities. He was afraid of failing again. Teachers often said, Max has potential, but Max himself did not believe it. At home, his parents noticed his sadness. His mother would gently say, just try your best. But Max would reply, what's the point of trying if I will fail? One summer morning, everything began to change. A new teacher named Mr. Ben joined the school. He was not strict or loud. He spoke calmly, smiled often, and listened carefully. He believed that every student had something special inside them. During his first week, Mr. Ben noticed Max's silence. He saw how Max avoided eye contact and never volunteered to answer. One day after class, Mr. Ben stopped Max and said, "You are very quiet." "Why?" Max looked down and said, "Because I'm not good enough, sir." Mr. Ben did not laugh. He did not correct him immediately. He simply said, "Come tomorrow. I want to show you something." The next day, Mr. Ben entered the classroom carrying a heavy bag. Inside it was a glass jar, stones, sand, and water. He placed the jar on the table and filled it with stones. "Is the jar full?" he asked. "Yes," the students replied. Then he added sand. "Now?" "Yes." Finally, he poured water, and it filled the gaps. Mr. Ben said softly, "This jar is your mind. If you fill it first with fear, doubt, and negativity, there will be no space for confidence or hope." The class became silent. That day, write one positive sentence about yourself. Max felt uncomfortable. He did not know what to write. On the first day, he wrote slowly, "I am trying." He did not believe it, but he wrote it anyway. Days passed. Max still failed sometimes. He still felt scared before exams. But something new happened. He did not give up immediately. When he failed a math test, he wanted to cry. But instead of hiding the paper, he went to Mr. Ben and asked for help. That was the first time he had ever done that. Mr. Ben smiled and said, "Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it." Max started staying back after school to practice. He made mistakes, many times. But each time, he learned something new. Slowly, his thinking changed. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," he started saying, "I will try again." Instead of thinking, "Everyone is better than me," he thought, "I am improving." One day, the school announced a speech competition. Max's heart raced. He wanted to avoid it. But Mr. Ben looked at him and said, "Fear means growth." That night, Max stood in front of the mirror and practiced. His voice shook. He forgot lines. But he continued. On the day of the competition, Max walked onto the stage with trembling hands. He made small mistakes, but he did not stop. When he finished, the hall was silent, and then people clapped. He did not win first prize. But something far greater happened. He won belief in himself. During the final exams, Max felt nervous but hopeful. He studied with focus, not fear. When the results came, he passed with good marks. His parents were proud. His teachers smiled. But the happiest person was Max himself. He understood something very important. A positive mindset does not remove problems. It gives you strength to face them. Years later, Max would tell others, "My life changed the day I stopped doubting myself." And he carried that lesson forever, that a positive mind can turn failure into growth and fear into strength.
Life lessons to learn from this story. First, your mindset shapes your reality. The story shows that Max's biggest problem was not his ability, but the way he thought about himself. When he changed his mindset from negative to positive, his actions and results also changed. Second, failure is a step toward success. Max failed many times, but each failure taught him something new. The story teaches us that failure is not the end. It is part of learning and growing. Third, small positive actions create big change. Writing one positive sentence every day and trying again after mistakes helped Max slowly build confidence. Even small positive habits can lead to big improvements over time. Fourth, believing in yourself builds strength. Once Max started believing in himself, he became stronger and more confident. Self-belief does not remove challenges, but it gives us the courage to face them and move forward.